Hi, hello everybody, I'm Justin. This is Koopa. There he is. That's Koopa right there. Welcome to Koopa's Corner. Now today, let's talk about Pokemon Day. It's Pokemon Day. It is Friday, February 27th, 2026. The 30-year anniversary of when Pokemon's Red and Green launched in Japan. And to celebrate Pokemon Day, Pokemon is doing an absolute shit ton, right? And it can all be found in the Pokemon Presents on YouTube. I watched the Presents this morning. I'm pumped. I know that a lot of people have been saying that it was mid, and there's actually been a lot of people who online who've seemed disappointed, and I just gotta say, I have no idea where that's coming from. This is insane. They covered so much in such a short span. And I'm going to kind of break it all down for you guys. Let's talk about it. Let's go through it, all right? But there's literally so much. I have maybe a line of notes for, each thing. And I'm on, 2 pages of notes. There's, so much going on. So we're going to just kind of take it chronological order from what they did. They started off with this super sick intro, with Gengar and Nidorino. And then it kind of phased into, every intro from every game for the past 30 years. So that was really cool. It was a great way to sort of celebrate, the history going on with Pokemon. And then they kind of jumped right into Game Boy Jukebox. This, I think, might be the weakest part of the whole Presents. This feels completely unnecessary. Not only unnecessary, but, kind of bad. Right? It's like a little miniature Game Boy with little miniature cartridges. And there's 45 different cartridges for 45 different songs. So every time you want to change a song, you got to put in a different cartridge. It's a really cool idea, and it might be a collector's thing, but as a practical way to listen to music from the original Pokemon series, constantly having to switch the cartridge after every song, it's going to be frustrating. You're not going to be realistically able to just sit there and listen to it. So that's kind of the one thing, but I'm sure it's going to be a collector's item. So if you can get your hands on it, it might be worth it. Who knows? Right? Then they jump into an announcement about Pokemon Worlds. Pokemon Worlds is going to be held at the Chase Center in San Francisco. And as they so eloquently put it, it's 3 times bigger than it was in 2025. So if you like Pokemon Worlds and you stream them on YouTube, I'm sure it won't make any difference. If you actually go to Pokemon Worlds, then hopefully there's a little bit of extra space, hopefully some more stuff to do. Then the event keeps growing, which is a great sign, right? Let's hop on over to Pokemon TCG. They showed a little trailer for Pokemon TCG, the actual physical TCG, and it was The Future Awaits, celebrating 30 years. They didn't announce a set pack, but they had Mew and Mewtwo. And they were both really cool looking with different colors and stuff like that. So if you're a TCG person, I'm sure that that's going to be some kind of maybe anniversary event, or maybe some classic cards making a comeback. I'm not sure. I haven't really bought Pokemon cards in quite a long time, not since I was a kid. Right? It's just a very expensive hobby to get into, and yeah, they're cool though. I like Pokemon cards. I make content about TCG Pocket, so I like Pokemon cards. Just don't really buy them. Right, then they talk about Pokemon Go, a quick little thing. Pokemon Go is celebrating 10 years this year. It was 2016 when Pokemon Go first came out, and I have been playing since day one. That summer, that first summer when Pokemon Go came out, man, it was a very different game than it is today. And I have said this before, kind of as a joke, but kind of also a little serious, that that summer, quite possibly the closest to world peace that we ever have gotten. Because literally everybody was out on the street, being friendly to each other, pointing people in the right direction. It was a phenomenon. And the game's still going pretty strong. Right? There's a couple big events they announced. Go Tour, Kalos region is this weekend. It's tomorrow, February 28th, from 10 to 6, and Sunday, and also Sunday from 10 to 6, right? So it's Saturday and Sunday this weekend from 10 to 6, Kalos region, focused event. I'm sure there's a lot more details online if you want to break it down. Also coming, there's a big 30-year anniversary event that they announced. The Go Tour they've been building to for a while. This anniversary event, this might have been the first they announced, or at least the first I've heard of it. March 7th through 9th, right? March 7th through 9th, the anniversary event for Pokemon Go. And it said that it was going to be featuring a lot of Pokemon that have been in the game before and are no longer in it. So if you've missed out on something and it disappeared before you could get it, this might be your chance. I don't know what it's going to focus on. I don't know what it's going to feature. But it should be pretty exciting. I still like to play Pokemon Go sometimes. I don't really make content on it, but I do enjoy Pokemon Go. Just kind of as like a passive thing. I check it every day, whatever. Just, spin your stop, catch your Pokemon, get your research done, and then, 5-10 minutes, whatever. If there's an event going on, me and my girlfriend might go out, go take a walk, see if we can play a little bit. It's just a nice way to get out of the house. And you can transfer your shinies and your regular Pokemon and whatever you want into Pokemon Home. So it's a great way to fill out your decks as well, because it might be easy to get and go during a community day event or something like that. And it might be really difficult to shiny hunt for something specific, depending on what's being featured in the main games. So yeah, Pokemon Go, a couple of big events, should be fun, right? Then they talk about Masters EX. I don't really play Masters EX, never really have. But there's going to be a new character, it looked like, featuring Red, or based off of Red, from the original games. So that'd be pretty cool. Cafe Remix. Never really played Cafe Remix, but if you like Cafe Remix, power to you. Looks like every single starter is going to be available, so that's pretty cool. And then there was Pokemon Sleep. Pokemon Sleep, again, it's not one that I play, but Pokemon Sleep is going to have some event featuring Mew. So if you like Mew, you like legendaries, you like mythicals, I should say, not legendaries, Mew is going to be featured Pokemon Sleep. And let's move on. Pokemon Unite. Pokemon Unite is a game that I've played. I played it day one as well. I didn't really play it super hard or super strong, super serious. I kind of played it, very casually, very occasionally, but I kept up with it for probably a little bit longer than I should have, probably a little bit longer than the game was relevant. And the game's had its ups and downs, right? There was a long period of time where they just weren't giving it any attention, giving it any love. And that's because they were working on a version of it to launch in China, which is huge, as a strategy for the Pokemon company, right? If they can get a foot in the door in China and open up that market, right? But Pokemon Unite, as they worked on the Chinese version, the other version for the rest of the world just kind of sat idly by. And it just kind of lost a lot of its appeal. And I stopped checking it entirely when they switched off of coins into the new license journey, which basically makes it impossible to acquire new Pokemon, so what's even the point, right? But there's a couple of things coming out for Unite that they announced in this Pokemon Presents, and that is 6 new Pokemon coming to the game, all 3 legendary birds and all 3 Johto starters, right? Zapdos releases today. So if you play Unite, you can start with Zapdos, probably some event, probably a dice rolling event. That's how they used to do it, right? I'm not sure if all 6 of them are going to be free to obtain, but probably at least Zapdos is. As long as you play every day and play the dice event, you make it through the dice event. All right, after Unite, they talked about Pokemon TCG Pocket. Right, TCG Pocket, as you all know, I'm quite a fan of, because I'm actually have made some content on it. I make pack openings every set, and I try to do at least one deck every set. So I don't do a ton of it, but I do it. And we have a brand new set that just came out officially yesterday, but kind of the night before, right? Depending on your time zone. Paldean Wonders, right? And that's the set. It's going to be featuring all Gen 9 Pokemon. I did a few packs of that, and I'm working on editing that video, so that's going to be up, maybe tomorrow, maybe later tonight if I finish it up. But I've got got a video coming about that. Brand new set, Paldean Wonders. Also, there is a login event, 30 Days of Gifts, for the 30-year anniversary. So if you log in today after the presents, right, if you did it this morning beforehand, you might have missed out, so make sure you log back in. And it's a bunch of hourglasses, a bunch of free packs featuring, you know, a lot of the old sets. But it's just a bunch of free stuff just for logging in. Just make sure you check your missions and you do that. Right? Alright, then they showed a little trailer for Gale of Darkness, which was a GameCube game. It's coming to the GameCube Classics on the Nintendo Switch. So if you have the Nintendo Switch Online service and you have, you know, the GameCube emulator sort of installed, Pokemon Gale of Darkness is going to be coming to that shortly. It's not out yet, not out today, but it's going to be coming very soon. I never played that one as a kid growing up, so I'm excited to check it out. Yep. Then they had a little trailer for Pokemon Champions. We got a little teaser of that last year. We've had very little information since then. Pokemon Champions is going to be how they sort of switch over their VGC format, right? Their competitive video game, you know, battling, your main series battling, right? I think Pokemon Worlds last year, you know, it was Scarlet and Violet. You had to have Scarlet and Violet. It was a team through that. They're switching over to Pokemon Champions, which is going to link to Pokemon Home, which means you're going to be able to use Pokemon from so many different games, so many different generations. And I'm sure Pokemon Champions is going to somehow format them all to meet certain criteria to, you know, make it fair for everybody. But yeah, Pokemon Champions, it's going to be coming in April on the Switch, and it's going to be coming a little bit later than that for mobile. So keep your eye out for that if you are into doing Pokemon battles. Right. Then they showed a little trailer for Legends ZA, the DLC, to, Mega Dimensions. You have to have Mega Dimensions to get this, but there's going to be a mystery gift. And that mystery gift is going to give you missions to get Garchomp Z. So new Mega for Garchomp. Even though we've already had Mega Garchomp, they're doing a second one. You have to have the DLC to get those missions, but they are just a mystery gift. So you just log into your mystery gift, download them, you got the missions. Knock yourself out. Complete the missions, find the battle, beat the battle, get the Megastone. You've got Garchomp Z. Then they showed some stuff for Pokemon Pokopia. Pokemon Pokopia is coming out March 6th. So March 6th, that's just next week. Or March 5th. 5th or 6th. I think it's the 5th, actually. I think the 5th is Pokopia, and then the 6th is WWE 2K, which is why I'm thinking both dates. Anyway, Pokopia is coming out just next week, so they showed a little bit more for that to hype it out. There's going to be tons of content already online. They did a Nintendo Treehouse to show you some of the gameplay footage. Some content creators have gotten early access to it. Should be pretty exciting. I've pre-purchased mine, pre-ordered it. I'm ready to go, man. I'm excited for this game. I've streamed Animal Crossing on the channel. I'll probably stream this as well. Some games I just play just for fun. But this is one that I kind of want to do just because I really enjoy doing Animal Crossing. I've been playing that since launch. I'm so excited for this game. So excited for this game. And they showed a couple of things. So they showed DJ Rotom, which is like a stereo. It's a new form for Rotom, right? Hopefully this is like a form that sticks around. It's not just for this game. But it might be, right? There's a couple of other forms they've introduced that are probably just for this game. So we'll see, TBD. They also showed Chef Dente, which is a Greedent, right? This is probably just for this game. It just looks like Greedent with like a weird chef's hat made out of a pot. That's not one that I expect to stick around, right? It doesn't feel as much of a new form as it does just like here's a specific single Greedent that's dressed up. They showed a little bit of hide and seek in multiplayer mode because you can actually transform as Ditto into inanimate objects, not just your human character, not just other Pokemon, but actually inanimate objects, which allows people to do hide and seek in multiplayer. So that could be a lot of fun, right? I know people do that in Scarlet and Violet with the Synchro Machine, right? They become a Pokemon and try to hide amongst the wild Pokemon. That's kind of a thing. So this could open up opportunities for that as well. Should be exciting, right? And then the last thing I want to mention about Pokopia is that through their little, montage of Pokopia stuff, Raikou was in there, right? And that's the first legendary that we've seen. So legendaries confirmed for Pokemon Pokopia. This game, I think, is actually going to be a lot bigger than it's been made out to be. It's starting to feel like it's actually going to be pretty huge. So I'm excited. I'm so pumped for Pokemon Pokopia, right? And then after Pokemon Pokopia, Gen 10, baby! Let's go! We got Gen 10. They showed starting off with, some artwork and then Pikachu looking out the window, and then there was 2 costumed Pikachus. Are we going to be able to dress up our Pikachu? We've had various costumes in the past. I think I would absolutely love it if it became a regular part of the mainline Pokemon games to be able to dress up your Pokemon, right? Going back to Pokemon Unite, they've had Holowear that you can dress them up. Some of them are really, really cool and really good. And some of them, not so much. But some of them are. And it'd be really cool if you could, incorporate that. And there's been costumed Pokemon in Pokemon Go. And, you can't transfer them to Pokemon Home and save them as costumed Pokemon. But it would be really cool if you can. It'd be really cool if you could collect all the different costumes for certain Pokemon, right? So, potentially, dressed up Pikachus in the trailer. Or it could be nothing, right? It could have just been to hype the trailer, hype the region that they're going to be in, right? And then they moved over and they showed a little bit, some montage of some stuff, of some of the wild Pokemon. No new Pokemon in that, but the graphics looked great, man. And so if you're expecting this to come out on Switch, you're probably going to be disappointed. This is probably going to be Switch 2 only. Pokemon Pocopia is Switch 2 only. So I would find it hard to believe if this was Switch 1 as well. But, it looks great. I'm so excited for this. Then we got 3 new starters. 3 new starters. We got Brout. It's a little bird. The grass bird with a big eyebrow made of leaves. To me, he reminded me of Rowlet, right? Just a little round bird. But instead of eyebrows, Rowlet's 2 leaves were here, a bow tie. So, we'll have to wait and find out how he evolves and what he becomes. But, right now, I think I'm kind of mid on Brout. Kind of mid. Hopefully, we get some evolutions that aren't, careers. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see a career. I don't want to see a soccer player. I don't want to see a secret agent. I don't want to see a drummer. I don't want to see a masquerade magician or a sombrero wearing singer. I don't want to see, a flamenco dancer. I don't want to see a career. I want to see a cool grass bird. There's just a cool bird, maybe a pterodactyl or something, right? But we'll have to wait and see. So there was Brout. Then the fire one was Pomban, a little Pomeranian. Just looked like a Pomeranian. If you like Pomeranians, you probably liked it. If you don't like Pomeranians, you probably didn't. Again, we're going to have to wait and see how it evolves, I think, before I make my judgment on it. But it was just a pretty simple design, I think. Pretty basic design. It was cute. It was cute, but there was nothing too much to it, right? So I guess it's, again, TBD on Pomban. And then, lastly, the water starter, Gekwa. Gekwa. The gecko. The water gecko. We've had water lizards, right? We've had Sobble, right? We've had water lizards, but Gekwa was probably the coolest of the 3, in my opinion. Gekwa was really cool. Not that the other 2 were bad by any means. I thought they were both decent. They both have potential, but they both also could fall off hard if the Evos are not so good. Gekwa started off really cool, really strong. I thought he was stronger than the other 2. But again, man, if he has a career, if he evolves into something stupid, it's going to kill it. It's going to kill it. So we got a TBD. We got to see how they evolve. But there's some potential here with these starters to be better than some that we've had in the past, I think, in my humble opinion, right? I don't think these are the worst starters we've ever had, right? So just if we're just looking at stage 1s, just looking at that basic, right? There's some potential here, and I'm excited. Right after the starters, they showed some more montage-y stuff about the overworld, kind of, and we're diving again. We haven't been able to dive in a Pokemon game in quite a long time, so we're going to be doing some underwater stuff. And then there was a reveal, the name. Now, this was leaked pretty early, so Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Waves is the name. We also got the logo, which is pretty standard for Pokemon. It's the logos aren't anything too special. They fit right in with all the other logos, right? But yeah, Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Waves official. I've avoided a lot of the spoilers. I didn't know what the starters were going to be. I didn't know what a lot of it was going to be. But even I've heard the name Winds and Waves. So, there you have it. And then finally, I think that ended on a big shock, right? With the release date 2027. It didn't say when in 2027. So it could be a while. Could be late, could be holidays, right? I was expecting holidays 2026. I was expecting about Thanksgiving 2026. It'd be cool if it was maybe springtime 2027, if we didn't have to wait the full, almost full year of 2027. I think that was a little bit of a shock, that release date, but that's what it is, guys. Like it or hate it, that's what it is. It means they're going to have that much more time to hopefully really add a lot of improvements into this game from some of the other stuff, especially with sort of the lukewarm response they got to ZA, right? Legends Arceus, phenomenal. Everybody just hyped it up so much. One of the best Pokemon games. Legends ZA did not meet that bar. Legends ZA wasn't a bad game, but it was not a great game either. So, yeah, there we go. Tons and tons and tons of stuff about Pokemon on the Pokemon Presents. For everyone who thought it was kind of mid, guys, what more did you want? We got like every single game, like every single franchise that Pokemon has their hands in, right? Yes, we didn't get movies or TV shows, but like we got so much stuff. So I've been like ranting for like 20 minutes, and not even ranting, but I've just been like bullet points, man. So much stuff. And some of it was really, really cool. And some of it, it's just, there's so many franchises, I just don't play them all. If you do, I'm so pumped for you, because like some of it looks really cool, right? So guys, let me know in the comments, which starter are you most excited about? That's what I want to know. Which starter are you most excited about? Is it Sprout? Is it Pombon? Or is it Gekwa? I typically am a grass starter kind of guy, right? Bulbasaur is my all-time favorite Pokemon. Number 1 in the decks. Number 1 in my heart. Bulbasaur, right? And I haven't picked grass every single generation. Sometimes I'll switch it up, depending on who I think's the coolest. This might be one of those generations. We'll have to wait and see what the Evos look like. But right now, I'm leaning Gekwa. My opinion was the best one. Let me know what you think. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.